Hey, thanks for watching. My guests today need absolutely no introduction. You know this first one right here from not only Mary, but her own solo career. And that dude down there is her husband. This is Erica Campbell and Warren Campbell. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for being with us.
Oh,
Good to see y'all again.
Yes.
First of all, congratulations on this new show.
Yeah.
Now, the last time we saw you on TV, it was the last season of Mary. We were all together. In fact, we did the screening.
We did.
At the theater. Thank y'all for doing that, by the way.
It was fun.
That
Absolutely.
was an incredible night.
Yeah, we enjoyed it.
But here we are back, and this one is more focused on your family. So tell us all about this show.
Well, when the Mary show ended, my husband was saying he just felt like we still had a place in television, and we didn't see a healthy black family, kind of represented on television. We see broken families, and we know that's a real thing, and so people live in their truth. But there's another narrative that I think we wanted to add to the fact that we are a family who loves God, who put our children first and our love for each other before our career, music, and even ministry. And I think that's just healthy for people to see, and they realize, wow, if it's working for them, it can work for us too.
Absolutely. Now we're talking about We're the Campbells on TV One. Let's take a look at that.
Complain all the time? No. Let's keep talking about joy.
We just have to validate her feelings.
Her feelings are valid. I'm not saying
Me as her brother, you have a tendency to look at her as your little sister and not an artist all the time.
Right.
And
give her a brush off sometimes. I've heard you talk to her, and I'll be like,
oh, Joy, okay, I already told you.
right.
Well, I get that. It goes both ways, though.
Right.
So that's what I'm talking about. Family sitting at the table, talking to your kids about the grades, and still seeing y'all all glammed up at the Stellars.
Absolutely.
Now, how did that come about? Because I think the last time we saw you, we were like, well, maybe that's it. But here we are with this new show. How'd you
like she said, I basically just figured, we still have a place and a voice and something to offer on TV, and why not bring our children? This was a great idea to have our kids be involved because they're just such great people. So I just kind of made a cold call to TV One and pitched it right there on the phone, and they bought it on the phone.
So really, how does that work? I mean, you got a whole camera set up just walking around your house following you?
We have about 5 or 6 cameras, and we're all mic'd up, and there's lights. They bring in lights every day, and they just kind of follow us around what we're doing and say, it gets a little annoying sometimes when you walk in the room and start talking and you say, hey, wait, don't say that yet. Can you
go back and do that again? Wow.
Say that same thing again. That was cool. Say it again.
Now,
What did I say?
Are there ever times where you're like, you know what, y'all just turn that off real quick?
Well, it used to be.
It used to be.
On
Not
Mary,
additional.
we did it a lot.
A lot.
Okay, you guys, that's enough. But this show was different. I mean, I had more control because it's my show and her show. So Mary is her and Tina's show. I was just there, But this time, I feel like if we're gonna catch it, just catch it. There's no need to stop the camera.
Right.
Yeah.
Let it go, let it roll. And so it was very transparent and very, very real.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. Congratulations on your new project. Well, the one that we've been listening to. Well done.
Yes.
We are looking for new music from you. When's it coming?
My next new song will be with this guy. The song's called All of My Life.
Okay.
A fun song just about loving God forever.
All right.
About not making any other option or choice except Him. Now, I know since they'll hear us together, some people think it's a love song because it's like, I'll be loving you all of my life for the rest of my life. And it's a really nice back and forth. Like, he's really singing on this song. He's killing. So I was like, oh, well, listen, you're coming for me on this song. Let me make sure that I pull it together.
No, she's the singer in the house.
Now, we saw you do this song at the Exodus Fest a few weeks back. And let me just say this. Your set at Exodus was incredible.
Thank you.
And let's look at this, because we got to look at the outfit. Where did that come from?
Stylist Jay Bolin. So I came to him trying to figure out what I wanted to wear. And I was trying to be more festival-esque.
Yeah.
But my husband always says, I need you to always look like an artist.
Wow.
And so I'm always trying to be mindful of, it's a little more laid back. I don't want to be overdressed.
No.
And he's like, no, be fully Erica Campbell. So Jay comes out with this
Like
Absolutely.
Diana Ross, Michael
Yeah.
Jackson, all the big acts.
They always
when
gave
they're
it
on
to
stage,
us.
they're in the costume.
Yeah.
They look like they're performing. They don't look like they're, going to the amusement park.
Yeah, I had a conversation with Marvin Wine as he came to a concert of Mary Mary, and at this time we were dressed in a little bit more casual. And he said, "I'll make sure I want to tell you about how I felt about the show." So we're all excited, and he's like, "Oh, I love the music, and you guys sang so well, but you didn't look like nothing."
Wow.
We're like, he said, "I mean, y'all just had jeans and a white
like
shirt.
everybody who was sitting
Said
out
you look
there."
like anybody in the audience."
Yeah.
He said, "If people are spending money to come see you, you should look like something."
go.
I never forgot that. And even though that message doesn't resonate with everybody else, because it came from such a legend who's done it so
absolutely.
well,
Absolutely.
it's something that I try my best to do.
Well, y'all gave it to us.
Thank you.
You know, from the costume to just the set list and the band and the sound, it was incredible.
Thank you.
Incredible.
Thank you.
And I realized that was my first time seeing you in concert. I saw you way back in the day, early 2000s, Sisters in Spirit,
Yeah.
with as part of Mary Mary. But to see Erica Campbell, I'm just like, yeah, she is for real.
Yeah, and I know I still have a lot of work to do. I mean, a lot of people, because Mary Mary has been in the business for so long, and I'm still relatively new as a solo artist. I know that I still have a lot of ground to cover. So, and that's fine. I know who I am. I know who God has called me to be.
Yeah.
And this door that He's opened for me to stand on my own 2 feet, I'm really, really proud to be able to grow in front of people.
Right,
That's
right.
not always easy, not always comfortable. When you go to a concert and while you're singing, sometimes they go, "Where's Tina?" Or, sing Shackles. So it takes a different kind of confidence and faith in God to kind of stand and deliver. And so every time I get a compliment like this, like
Right,
what you're giving
right,
me now, is very affirming.
Very
and
appreciated, very
Very,
appreciated.
yeah.
It's
very-
interesting that you say that, because a lot of times, and we've all gone to concerts where someone has gone solo and we're thinking, well, I wish so-and-so was there, but we loved you.
Wow, thank you. That's
What's
so
wrong
encouraging.
with you? We love her. So congratulations. Now, speaking of music, you're also part of the Snoop Dogg project?
Yes. So you
Yeah.
produced how many songs on there? 2, 3?
No, the one you did.
No, I thought you worked on.
No, we were doing some other songs that didn't make it. I was basically just kind of giving him some records that were already done. I produced the album for the Walls Group,
Okay.
their album. So I took a Walls Group song that was on their album, said, "Snoop, put this on your album as well." And he tried it. He just, oh man, it's already on somebody else's album. So we ended up just doing the one
Okay.
with you guys.
But you were also part of Death Row back in the day.
Yeah,
And so
absolutely.
we've come full circle. Everybody is now doing gospel. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and it's so cool to see Snoop just embracing that. Snoop grew up in church, in a Kojic church called Gospel Memorial in
Wow.
Long Beach.
Wow.
California.
Yeah, he was in the Sunshine Band as a kid and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Wow.
But he comes full circle now. I mean, it's not like he forgot who God was. It's just that life
Everybody's-
takes you on
yeah.
a different path, man.
Yeah.
And he's finding his way back. And we have to allow people to do that. You know what I'm saying? We have to allow people their own space and their own time.
I just want to get this off your face.
Oh, well, thank you.
Isn't that just like a wife?
Sorry.
Just like
I was
a
like, I
wife.
just can't let it sit there no longer. I'm sorry.
But he's making his own route. Everybody doesn't get to God the exact
Right.
same way.
Oh, absolutely.
So I mean, be patient with him. God ain't through with him yet.
Yeah.
Now, for folks who don't know him, this brother right here has produced all sorts of stuff. Give me
quite
just some of the
legendary.
names that you've produced, some of the people that you've worked with.
Oh, Luther Vandross and
What song did you do for Luther?
Take You Out?
Take You Out
Did you
tonight.
Take You Out?
Yeah.
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 Alicia
Take You
Keys.
That
Kelly
Alicia,
Price.
Yeah, Kanye West.
Wow.
Kelly was signed
Brandy.
up to our label. We did an album with Kelly on our label. She had a big song called Not My Daddy. And
Okay.
that was on our My Block label.
Music Soldier.
The one with,
Brandy.
was that with Mint
Big
Condition?
Condition,
Yeah.
yeah.
What?
That was our label. And then Music Soul Child, his second last album, that was on our label as well.
Okay.
With a big song called I Do.
Okay.
And then Mary
Now, didn't
Mary.
you work with Michael Jackson?
You know what? I did not. I did. Let me tell you that story.
Okay.
This is why you gotta keep yourself humble. Now, when Michael was working on this Invincible project, there was a song that I wrote, and his handlers loved the song for Mike. And so, at the time, I was as a young producer. I was in my 20s. I was really hot. I was working on everything. I was flying out somewhere every day working with somebody.
Okay.
And Michael's people said, "We want you to carve out 30 days with Mike to work on this one song." I said, "I'm not working on one song for 30. You know how much money I can make in 30 days? I'm not doing it. I don't care who Michael Jackson is."
Wow.
I was just ignorant, and now I'm kicking myself like I didn't know If I'd known he wasn't gonna be here,
Yeah.
I went so far to say is that last album he didn't even sell no records. You know, I was
Wow.
doing all that ignorant stuff,
Wow.
and which is one of the reasons why when the Luther Vandross opportunity came, I was like, I'm jumping on that.
Wow.
And now, you know, I'm doing stuff and working with Stevie Wonder. I'm like, when Stevie called me, I'm jumping on Stevie because
It's a
these
legend.
are our legends. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
we gotta
never
honor
gonna
them.
pass up a chance to do that again. I'm not.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
And the fact that you did, you know, really one of Luther's biggest records,
Yeah.
that everybody still loves to this day,
Yeah.
and it says a lot. Man, Michael Jackson, really?
Yeah, that was. I should have did that.
Well, you know what? Because we all have those stories, especially in
Yeah.
this business.
Yeah.
And I'll give you my story. Back in, I think it was like 86, 87. And a lot of times in radio, you have new artists that want to bring this new artist by and please interview them and blah, blah, blah. And so they were bringing this new artist by and we had never heard of her. And it's like, well, you interview. No, I don't want to interview. You interview. No, I don't want to just live around the lobby and somebody to go do it. So we put it off on our production guy to interview Whitney Houston.
Oh, I knew you was gonna say Whitney. I knew it.
It was Whitney Houston. We looked around the
Wow.
lobby, man. It's like, how could we have done that?
Well, you know, the beginning stages with radio is
Yeah.
kind of rough.
It's hard.
It
Woo,
is.
I remember sitting there and they just looking at you and you see them walking past and you're asking your manager, are they going to talk to us? And they go, yeah, just be patient. Oh, it takes a lot.
Well, I'll give you my other story. We were at the Stellar Awards, and there was this, and William, you know William, and see, she and I are doing the show, and so there's this guy who's standing there, this weird-looking kid. Who's like, who's that? I don't know. They want us to interview him, and so he stood there for like literally 3 hours of the broadcast, and so he was our final interview of the night. Ty Tribbett.
Wow.
And the next night he did the after party and just tore
Tore
it
it
up.
down.
We were like, we need an interview with him. And so every time I see him, I remind him, and he remembers that story because we just left him there. It was like, well, is he gonna shoot us or what?
And the artists never forget
They
those
never
stories.
forget.
They're like
Yeah.
they have those elephant-like memories. They never
It's
forget
really rough.
that
Wow.
stuff. It's just
Yeah.
it's cool. I'm glad you interviewed him.
Yeah, and you know,
He be mad at you right
yeah,
now.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, listen, you two have been married what, 17 years?
17. Yeah.
And people will say, well, what is the success? What is the secret to the success of 17 years? And we saw your first season on Black Love. Transparent, and you know, we have this saying in radio, just get naked in front of the audience. And
Yeah.
y'all did. You told everything.
Yeah.
But not only did you tell the bad stuff, but how God worked it out and you're still
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Somebody may be going through maybe the same thing or something different. You know, what would you tell them?
Get your ego out of the way. Don't lead your relationship by your feelings because they will get hurt. You know, everybody communicates differently. There will be things that will get on your nerves, but when you realize that you love that person, learn to speak truthfully, you know, with God at the center. Speak your truth in love is something that we learned in therapy.
Yeah.
And yes, we believe in therapy.
And see, thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
And you're not the first person to come through to say that. What is it about our community that we don't want to go to therapy? We don't want to
Ego.
go talk to somebody. We'll go to the, you know, the cancer doctor or the, you know, the high blood pressure doctor, but we won't go to the therapist.
I don't know if it's ego.
Is it fear?
I think it's just the fear of the unknown. The same reason why we wouldn't go to the doctors. We had all these home remedies, you know, and you know that was
I
made
still
up
believe in
from.
home remedies. I still.
But you know, but the thing is, we don't want to go to the professionals.
Right.
You know, well, go to church, talk to Jesus about it. Now, I mean, you know, the Bible even says, in the multitude of counsel, there is safety.
Yeah.
That word. Counsel there is another word. The root word is robe. The word robe means in a
Cover.
multitude of coverings. Not one covering,
Yeah.
several.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know, we went to premarital counseling. And then we also had my parents,
Yeah.
who've been married now 43 years, you know, and her parents. And
Yeah.
in a slew of really healthy relationships all
Yeah.
around us, marriages, and we recovered.
Yeah.
So when it got hard, we knew what to do.
Yeah.
You know, one was stick together. Two, for me, it was like, man, just keep coming home. I know she don't even want to see you right now, but just keep do
keep
not
coming
get out
home.
of her face.
Yeah.
Stay in her face. She don't like you right now, but stay in her face.
That was one thing that really struck me greatly because some people are like, I messed up so bad, I'll just stay away. That's the worst thing you can do. One thing I told him, he said, what can I do? I said, love me back to you. He said, how to do that? I said, I don't know, just love me as hard as you possibly can.
And remember your vows too.
remember
those
your vows.
Listen, it's for better, then what?
For worse.
For
Which
richer,
means you will have worse.
Yes.
then what? For poor.
Poor.
For sickness, then what?
Health.
Now, here's the cool part. It says till death do us part, which means you got your entire lives together to figure this out.
Yeah.
Which means I can't leave. I don't care what she does to me. I can't leave. if you have the I can't leave mindset, you're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because I'm stuck with you now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you're going to figure out how to work it out.
Yeah. And what does that do to the heart of a woman when you realize that I'm messed up, but I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. You have to forgive. You have to let God in the center of that, because me and my flesh and myself, you'll hold on to it. And I like to say people treat their pain like a pet. You know, you did this and you feed it and you nurture it and you think about it and you regurgitate and you talk about it with your friends and you just keep it going. And so the mess never goes away because you treat it like a pet. You got to let it die.
This is some, faith, was it faith walking?
Faith walking, love talking, joy living.
Man, the Erica Campbell, we getting it right here. And now let me say this, because what y'all were speaking truth, y'all were speaking the word. As pastor and first lady, if you don't know, California Worship Center.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about your church.
Our church is a very young church, 3 years old now, and just really thriving, and a really great community of eclectic people, not necessarily church people. We have some church people, but mostly people who've never been to church. And, and so I find myself on Sundays, it's a different thing when you're talking to people who may not know who Moses was.
Right.
I mean, there's a whole section who knows. So you got to talk to everybody.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to do that, but God has really given me grace to be able to speak to all of those people at the same time and giving me a way to do it. And I love it. I was very nervous at first because it's one thing to go around the country and preach in different churches because you only need one message.
Right.
But it's another thing.
Week after week.
Have a new one every Sunday.
And Sunday comes every 7 days.
It does, without fail.
Yeah. But,
and on top of that, you've got all of this other stuff that you're involved with.
Yeah. But it all now takes a back seat to the pastorate because God holds me responsible for people's souls. You know what I mean? And I'm not ever gonna take that lightly. I don't care who needs a beat from Baby Dub or a track or whatever. Listen, somebody needs my help. Somebody's in the hospital. Somebody needs to be delivered. Somebody, so that comes first.
Yeah, and I support him following God 100%. I will never get in the way with that.
Praise God.
In the way of that.
Who would have thought, what was it, 12 or so years ago when I first got this song called Wade in the Water?
Yes.
This group called Mary Mary
Yes.
that we had never heard of, that it would just come to all of this.
Never would have thought it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never would have thought it. But I'm so excited. And I think that's the thing about God. He always exceeds your expectations.
Yeah.
He always does more than you could ever ask or think or dream. And so when you just surrender and go, okay, Lord, what's your perfect plan for my life? I want to hear that and follow that. You get this kind of result.
Well, listen, we love you. Thank you for being transparent, and you're helping so many people, through your music and through, your ministry and through the radio show, and that's a book coming, right?
Yes, it's called More Than Pretty.
Okay.
Yeah, I was able to do a focus group while we were doing the show and recording the show, just to see kind of where women are. I always want to make sure that I'm giving what people need and not just, I feel like saying this today. And so it's a real need to talk about Christianity and sexuality. It's a real need to answer these questions so we're sure of who we are and we understand why the enemy attacks so intently. Love, relationship, family, our sense of self-worth. He attacks that so intently because God created us as these amazing beings.
Yeah.
And what does he want us to do? He wants us to think that we're nothing, that no one loves us, that no one cares. And so we have to have this hope and this resiliency that allows us to live the full life that God designed us to live.
Wow. I'm just looking at him look at you. That's a moment you can't
I just got
capture.
caught in the headlights right now.
I was like, wow. Well, listen, thank y'all again for coming through. I encourage you to check out this new show on TV1, We're the Campbells. You're going to love it. It's all about family. It's all about them. And it in turn will all be about you. Erica Warryn Campbell, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you for watching Gospel Sunday TV.
Thanks for watching Gospel Sunday TV. We'd like to know what you think. Subscribe, comment, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And also visit us at krnb.com.